What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Man sacrifices his existence on planet Earth to go out on a date with a woman. In case you're wondering just how far men are willing to go for some women, guys, this one is one you probably won't forget. Let's get it.
Okay, so somebody got to hear this story. So I was talking to this guy. He asked me out on a date, right? So obviously I'm like, yeah, we're going to the movies. Cool. He comes to pick me up.
Right.
I get in the car. Everything was cool. We get to the movies. He asked me, did I want anything like to eat or drink? I'm like, yeah, let's get like some popcorn and some ices or whatever. So as we're standing in line to get like our snacks, I'm looking at him like we're kind of talking, but he seems uncomfortable.
Okay.
Not really like social anxiety uncomfortable, but more so like some type of discomfort. So I asked him, I'm like, you good? And he's like, yeah, I'm okay, whatever. So we get our snacks, we go inside. We were kind of late to the movie, so our seats were kind of closer to the screen than, I would like, but whatever. So we sit down. Now, as we're seated, I noticed that he's kind of like kind of leaning over to one side. And I start to notice that he's sweating. Now, I know that I'm always cold, but in the movie theater, I typically bring a blanket or a jacket, something, because it's usually colder inside the theater. So I'm looking at him like, why the hell does why he's sweating? So I asked him again, I'm like, hey, you good? Like, you just seem a little uncomfortable. Is something going on? Y'all, this man looks me in my face and goes, yeah, so, this how he talking? Yeah, so, I think I should have went to the hospital. So at this point, I'm like, what happened? Because you tripping and you freaking me out a little bit.
Right.
So this man, I kid you not, looks at me and goes, I gave myself surgery. I'm sorry, what? So he was like, yeah, so I think I got bit by a spider, but I gave myself surgery. So at this point, I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, this doesn't even make any sense. He proceeds to lift up his shirt, okay? When he lifts up his shirt, all I see is duct tape, like, wrapped around his stomach and chest area.
What?
So I'm like, what the hell? So he goes, again, this is how he's talking to me. Yeah, so, there's a hole in my stomach. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, it's a hole in my stomach. So I'm like, so you just walking around with a hole in your stomach? Like, what's happening? I'm confused. So he was like, yeah, the spider bit me and I woke up the next day with a hole building in my stomach. So what he did was took a turkey baster, sucked out the pus and all that stuff, stuffed the hole with gauze, and then wrapped himself with duct tape so that we could go on a date.
If you guys really think about this story, it's a clear representation of just how difficult it is for men out here, for the average guy on dating apps. I'm assuming that's where she met this guy, taking a wild guess, to actually get a match. First of all, this is a crazy story, but I want you guys to really think about this. This guy was risking his life, it sounded like, he needed to go to a hospital, to be out on a date with the woman. Do you think there are women out there who, if they had a hole in their stomach, would choose to go out on a date with the man instead of go to the hospital? No, they know they can replace a man very quickly, right? Maybe she brought good enough attributes that he thought, no, there's just no reason why. If you're in this situation, man, go to the hospital. Go to the hospital. Let's check out some of these comments and see what the people have to say. What do you guys think of this whole thing? First comment says, please tell me there's a part 2. The laughing emojis. Another person here says, if he wanted to, he would. Listen, you have guys out here who are this guy, willing to go on a date, borderline about to literally die, and she's tripping over the guy who didn't text her back from the dating app. Oh man, cruel world. I hope the man got some help. This woman says, so he was gonna die to go out with you? Girl, I love the effort. I love the effort, they say. Another person says, and other guys can't even text back. Another woman says, I thought he had to shit. This gentleman says, sound like it was a brown recluse with the exclamation mark. He could have died. I know nothing about spiders, so maybe that was a really poisonous spider if he's saying he could have died. And the actual creator responded back. She says, oh, wow. She says it was with the exclamation marks. So the man could have died, and that's exactly what the doctor told him. Mercy. Here's another comment from another woman that says, an extreme case of if he wanted to, he would. What do you guys think she did after this date? Do you think he got access to her again? They went on a second date. Do you think he got the cheeks at all? What do you guys think? Do you think they're dating? Or do you think she saw that as, you're a little bit too desperate for me, and I don't know how I feel about that? I tend to lean towards that way, and maybe that's a bit pessimistic, but it's just how these things tend to go, man. This next comment says, the dedication to the date, exclamation marks, but obviously no, he needs to go to the hospital. Here's another comment that says, as a man, I would tell you that he really likes you. No way in hell a man will go through this if he doesn't like you. He is a keeper. But the question is, did she keep him? That's what I'm wondering. Did she keep him? And you know what? I'm going to go check to see her other videos here and see if we can find a follow-up story if she actually kept him. Let's see.
I saw someone in the comments say that if he wanted to, he would. Absolutely right. If he wanted to, he would. Because this man was literally dying. Okay? So we found out later that he was actually bitten by a brown recluse spider. The spider's venom had started eating away at his skin. And if we hadn't have gotten him to the hospital that night, it would have moved on. The venom would have moved on to his organs. The hole was the size of a quarter when he took off that duct tape. And he had absolutely stuffed the wound with gauze. But even with all that, the date still wasn't as crazy as the time that the married serial killer asked me out. So it was a win.
All right, so I guess that's the part two. I'm trying to figure out, did she give him a second date? Was his act of risking his life worth it? She's out here dating serial killers. I don't know. At some point, you got to look in the mirror, ask yourself, why am I attracting serial killers? Here we go. Here we go. No, you don't. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that, she saw that effort and things worked out? As always, man, I'm curious to know. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.